go extra to be great. I go extra for the fam, I go extra for the cake. I got extras on the plate. I go extra every day, I got extras on the way. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. Ain't no mileage of $4 configure the road I travel. Don't gravel that probably baffle it. Label scribble.
From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And look at this, right away. And look at this, right away, a loose football. And it looked like he was able to get it back. So a big sigh of relief there, as that would have been a disastrous way to start this ball game.
As I look down at the sideline and see the special teams coach, you can just see those shoulders sagging, can't you?
Absolutely.
You talk about having some great emotion going. Think about the elation he was feeling on the return. Everything synced up well, blocked well, everything was going great. And then they end up dropping the football.
And a nice job, though, to make that football come out defensively.
It was. Give them credit for making that happen. But boy, I just feel the pain of that poor guy on the sidelines all day.
And this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. It's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
They fake the give. Now Mahomes on the move to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it third manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And the slot man goes in motion left. Here's Jerick McKinnon, his first carry of the ball game. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
But they're certainly not neglecting their run duties as well as they ate up the blockers in front and allowed the secondary to get home.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to him.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Singletary again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Willie Gay getting in there and picking up the sack.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. Here's Hardman to return. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. They'll run with the third-year man, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Mahomes on the give to Edwards-Helaire. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. They get 5, and it will go ahead and move the chains. The Chiefs at 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Yeah, this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Decent gain on the scramble at 6, but now it's 4th.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least. If they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. Look at this. Middle of the field, a breakaway. The 20. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Micah Hyde, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bills are on the board first here on the road in Kansas City. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
We'll give them credit for a good read right there because they got the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
On second down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
The Chiefs value what Edwards-Helaire brings to a backfield group, both as a runner and a receiver. Average over 60 all-purpose yards per game for them across 10 contests. They know he can produce even more if he can stay healthy for the full season.
Mahomes now on first down. And that is caught downfield by Beckham. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Odell Beckham, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Extra point by Baker is on target. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. McKenzie will not return this, and it will be brought out to the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Allen going to throw, sliding out of the pocket. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the first on the scramble.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
They'll run on first down with Singletary. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. After one, a one-point game, 7-6. A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Devon Kennard from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Allen. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Even after 3 seasons in the league, you can sense that there's room for a huge breakout by Ed Oliver. He has the potential to decimate the line of scrimmage and get to the quarterback from the interior.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. They'll set up a throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
To me, this is a case of if you're not getting the ball, you've got to do your job and block for the guy who is, because there really wasn't much there. And, boy, the defense took advantage with that loss.
And the defense, they were just locked in there on 3rd. They had more guys than they could block. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give them 5 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives them a 1st down.
Nice first down pickup there for Gabriel Davis, who really announced his presence last season. Playoff record, 4 touchdowns against Kansas City, also over 200 yards in that game. People in Buffalo really believe this guy's going to continue to develop as one of their top receivers.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. Airing one out for Crowder. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on the receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around it. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
An incomplete Incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. To throw, it's Allen. Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. So after the INT, here's Mahomes.
Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
A shotgun snap and a give to Edwards-Helaire.
Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Looking to throw is Mahomes. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's Edwards-Helaire.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
That was Terrell Bernard navigating his way to the backfield and dropping him for a loss.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Right there, baby.
Second and 12.
Now here's Mahomes.
He'll find Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Touchdown! Clyde Edwards-Helaire. A 20-yard touchdown as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield of the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during the game, cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling.
And Allen going to be intercepted for the third time. Picked up by Justin Reed. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So much to discuss with the Chiefs and Bills getting together here. The top 2 scoring teams in the AFC last year. Buffalo won their regular season meeting in 2021. That was 38-20 in Week 5. But as we all know, the Chiefs got them back in the playoffs. One of the best games in recent memory. 42-36 in overtime. And a game that many thought helped spawn the new overtime rules for 2022. And not much running room. Down to the 32. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Here's the rookie out of Rutgers, Isaiah Pacheco. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. A pause here for an injured player, and this would be an important one. Von Miller in some discomfort on the field right now. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. Rutgers' kick here is good, and that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands. We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Throwing now is Allen. Right back to Davis. It's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And the Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock. Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Allen now looks to throw. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down in bounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And again, it's Allen. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. To try again after the sack. Allen finding Knox there, complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Bills trail here, but they will get the football first as we are back underway on EA Sports. McKenzie now from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now. And that's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now Allen. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that's also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Allen. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 39. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 39-yard line. Play action. Now it's Allen. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Justin Reed. And the Chiefs are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
The tackle is made by Micah Hyde. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
pass run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. He's got room past the 30. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and run on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Open man. It's the tight end, Kelsey. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
And now we'll get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. Looking for Kelsey there, but it's intercepted. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. And I think they are going to get this one back. Well, that would have been something. Double turnovers, but instead they'll keep the possession on the INT.
Well, he had an offense working with a comfortable 2-score lead here in the 3rd quarter, and certainly doesn't feel as comfortable now following the turnover.
Yeah, you're right about that, because now the nerves start to come into play a little bit. You're a little bit jangled. You don't want to give your opponents any avenues to get back into the game. What you'd rather do, put up signs that say, roads closed.
They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spend too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
On 1st down, Allen. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
A 3rd quarter action from Kansas City. 2nd down and 10. Here's Allen. Quick slant to Crowder. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
1st down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And my goodness, another interception. And the Chiefs are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his his caliber picked now 5 times.
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Brought down by Ed Oliver.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. Mahomes going to throw. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
First and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They go play action. Now Mahomes. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And the Bills are going to get the football back at their own 17. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. They go right back to Singletary. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 4th and 4 coming up.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They've not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Allen. Crowder's got it over the middle. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
Certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time: completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Steps away, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
That's Matt Milano firing in from his linebacker position.
Even the most elusive quarterbacks have those tough days where they can't avoid sacks, and this is one of them. Third time he's gone down. He might develop some happy feet now, want to escape the pocket and try and gain more yardage with his legs.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw.
They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. All told, it's a loss of 8 on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on third down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Crowder now to return. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's second and 10. Now Allen going deep for Diggs. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, with a little trouble hooking up on it. Unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a third and 10. Allen going to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete.
You tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now Allen, gotta have this one. Going deep for Diggs. That's gonna be knocked away and incomplete. The Bills drive stalls out on fourth down. And now possession's gonna go over with a football at the 20-yard line. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Gregory Rousseau able to bring him down.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 40 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the fourth quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Butker now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. Touchdown. Here's Butker on to kick it away. McKenzie now from his end zone. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one. They're probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
So after a run like that, I will guarantee that the head coach is saying to himself, maybe even over his headsets to the rest of the staff, where was that all game long? We needed that. That's the type of run we planned for going into the game. Didn't get much of that, but let's move it forward. Let's build on it, get ready for the next week, and let's go play.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack?
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Allen. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Justin Reed. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. And that's a loss of 7 on the 1st down play.
You see that celebration from him after that stop? Those corners don't normally have the chance to get behind the line of scrimmage and hand them big losses. So when he got that opportunity, he certainly made it a memorable one.
Now after the loss, he'll have to navigate a 2nd and 17. Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd down and 12. And a Pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
McKenzie now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini-losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Allen. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Justin Reed. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Here's Edwards-Helaire as they will start on the ground.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Now Edwards-Helaire.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
They've gone to the 4th up in Seattle, and the Seahawks able to take home that victory. A win would be just their 2nd of the year if they could hold on. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the 1st quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you have a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you start baseball, the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, runners get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the 1st quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Chiefs, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8.